Today, we're diving into the future of gaming. Get ready for the best new upcoming titles for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 in 2023. Prepare for mind-blowing graphics, immersive storytelling, and unforgettable adventures. From epic RPGs to heart-pounding action, there's something for everyone on these platforms. And a big thank to these subscribers who support our channel. If you want shout-out, then subscribe the channel to get free shout-out. Don't skip the video, because one of them are amazing games. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the exciting video. Number 10. Final Fantasy XVI. Final Fantasy XVI is an upcoming action role-playing game developed and published by Square Enix, the 16th main installment in the Final Fantasy series. It is scheduled for release on June 22, 2023 for the PlayStation 5 as a timed exclusive. The game will feature segmented open environments and an action-based combat system involving both melee and magic-based attacks. There are also recurring series features including chocobos and summoned monsters called icons, which are both fought as bosses and used through channeling their power in combat. Number 9. Cities Skylines 2. Cities Skylines 2 is officially on the way. An announcement back in March 2023 confirmed that the sequel to one of the best city builder games out there is set to be an evolution of what came before, and that in itself has our interest piqued. Although it's been 8 years since the first Cities Skylines graced our screens, the community is as active as ever. It's showing no sign of slowing down, thanks to the buzz created by developer Colossal Order's drip-feeding of new information via Q&As on Twitter. The long-awaited building and management sim is quickly becoming one of the hottest upcoming PC games to keep an eye out for, not to mention one of our top new games for 2023. The Cities Skylines 2 release date is set for October 24, 2023. Number 8. Payday 3. Payday 3, stylized as Payday 3, is an upcoming first-person shooter game developed by Overkill Software and Starbreeze Studios and published by Deep Silver. It is a sequel to Payday 2 and is also the third installment in the Payday series of video games. The game is set to be released on September 21, 2023. The game will take place after the ending of Payday 2, where the heisters went separate ways and left their lives of crime, but something remotivates the Payday gang to continue the life of crime. The original crew of characters originating from Payday, The Heist, Dallas, Chains, Wolf, and Hoxton, will appear in Payday 3, and the game will take place mainly in New York. From teaser images, one of the missions will take place at the Gold and Shark Incorporated Bank, and from the gameplay trailer, we can see a heist on the Secure Capital Bank. Payday 3 will take place in the 2020s, intended to add more depth to the Payday gang's crimes with game-changing differences like more advanced surveillance or the rise of cryptocurrency. Number 7. Assassin's Creed Mirage. Assassin's Creed Mirage is an upcoming action-adventure game developed by Ubisoft Bordeaux and published by Ubisoft. It will be the 13th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series and the successor to 2020's Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Principally set in 9th century Baghdad during the Islamic Golden Age in the Abbasid Caliphate, the game will follow Basim ibn Ishaq, a character first introduced in Valhalla, and his transition from street thief to fully fledged member of the Assassin Brotherhood, who fight for peace and liberty against the Templar Order, who desire peace through control. The game has been described as a return to the series' roots, with a bigger focus on linear storytelling and stealth gameplay than more recent installments, which primarily focused on role-playing and open-world elements. Mirage is set to be released for Amazon Luna, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and Series S on October 12, 2023. Number 6. Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is an upcoming role-playing video game developed and published by Larian Studios. It is the third main game in the Baldur's Gate series, which is based on the Dungeons & Dragons tabletop role-playing system. A partial version of the game was released in early access format for Windows, macOS, and the Stadia streaming service on October 6, 2020. The game is expected to remain in early access until its full release on August 31, 2023, which coincides with the release of the PlayStation 5 version. The Xbox Series X/S port is also in development, while the Stadia version was cancelled following the service's closure. Baldur's Gate 3 is a role-playing video game that offers both a single-player and cooperative multiplayer element. Players can create one or more characters and form a party along with computer-generated characters to explore the game's story. Optionally, Players will be able to take one of their characters and team up online with other players to form a party. Unlike previous games in the Baldur's Gate series, Baldur's Gate 3 has turn-based combat similar to Larian's earlier games Divinity, Original Sin and Divinity, Original Sin 2, but this time, it is based on the D&D 5th edition rules. Number 5. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is an upcoming open-world action-adventure game based on the Avatar film series. The game is being developed by Massive Entertainment and will be published by Ubisoft for PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox Series X/S, and Amazon Luna on December 7, 2023. Played in a first-person perspective, players take control of a Gnostics orphan raised and trained as a soldier by the RDA before being put into suspended animation and waking up 15 years later in an abandoned facility. The player must embark on a journey across the western frontier, a never-before-seen region of Pandora, discovering their origins and organizing the local Gnostics tribes to fight back against the RDA as they attempt to exploit the natural resources of the western frontier. The game's story is said to be partially tied to the films, while remaining standalone. The game will also support 2-player cooperative multiplayer. Number 4. Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 received a new gameplay trailer during the PlayStation Showcase event that confirmed a new playable character for the game who isn't the titular Alan Wake. Remedy Entertainment's Alan Wake 2 has been hotly anticipated for years now, but the PlayStation Showcase was the first time that fans got a good look at gameplay. Alan Wake 2 is a survival horror game played from a third-person perspective. Players play as Alan Wake or Saga Anderson in 2 separate single-player stories, which can be played in any order the player chooses, although the opening sequence and ending sequence of the game can only be played as Saga and as Alan, respectively. The gameplay footage in the trailer shows Anderson exploring an abandoned general store with an over-the-shoulder viewpoint that looks very similar to the Resident Evil 2 remake and other recent RE games. Someone or something then bursts through the wall in what is a rather effective jump scare moment, underlining Remedy's claim that Alan Wake 2 would be more of a pure horror experience. Number 3. The Crew Motorfest. The Crew Motorfest is an upcoming racing video game developed by Ubisoft Ivory Tower and published by Ubisoft for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X/S. It will be the sequel to 2018's The Crew 2 and the third game in the Crew series, scheduled to release on September 14, 2023. As with its predecessors, the game is set in an open-world environment. However, unlike the predecessors which were set in the contiguous United States, Motorfest would be set in a scaled-down version of the Hawaiian island of Oahu. Its gameplay is similar to that of the previous games in the series, featuring online multiplayer features referred to in-game as a crew, as well as being able to control vehicles other than cars such as planes and boats. Number 2. Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 is an upcoming fighting game developed by NetherRealm Studios and published by Warner Bros. Games. It will be the 12th main installment in the Mortal Kombat series and a sequel to Mortal Kombat 11, 2019. Mortal Kombat 1 will be the series' second reboot, following Mortal Kombat 2011. The game is set to be released for Windows, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and Nintendo Switch on September 19, 2023. Mortal Kombat 1 has been confirmed to feature a story mode, online multiplayer with rollback netcode, and offline gameplay. The game will introduce a feature called Cameo Fighters, which will provide assistance to the player during fights. As of the game's announcement date, it has been revealed to feature reimagined versions of Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Johnny Cage, Kung Lao, Kitana, Mileena and Kenshir. Shang Tsung will be offered as a pre-order incentive. 6 additional characters and 5 cameo fighters are planned for post-launch release via the Combat Pack downloadable content. Number 1. Lies of P. Lies of P is an upcoming Souls-like video game developed by Round 8 Studio and published by Neowiz Games, both South Korean companies. The game will be released on September 19, 2023 for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X/S. The game is loosely based on the 1883 Italian novel The Adventures of Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi. Lies of P is a third-person Souls-like that the player controls the humanoid Pinocchio and travels on foot through the city of Krat, exploring the environment, and fighting various biomechanical enemies. The player uses an arsenal of weapons such as a sword and an axe against his enemies, and can dodge and block their blows. The weapon and crafting system offers 30 different weapon types with 100 combinations. The game features a allying system, where the decisions equal. The game won the Best Action Adventure Game, Most Wanted Sony PlayStation, and Best Role-Playing Game at the Gamescom 2022 awards.